All right. What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD interview, where every single week we interview top entrepreneurs and just straight up top badasses that are out there doing big things in their space.
Honey, I'm a badass.
That's it. So, these are guys that are choosing to not play life small, not live life of mediocrity, but choosing to go out there and create epic lives for themselves and for their family. So today, you guys, I'm really stoked and honored to have our guest on this guy I've been following for a long time. Master, sales trainer, coach, got to start in the real estate industry, serial entrepreneur. So really excited to have Claude Diamond on the show. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks for inviting me. I'm looking forward to this. I had to look up what GSD meant.
It's one of those things where so often in life and in business, things just kind of happen on accident. When we were starting this, it was going to be called Keeping It Real, like no smokes and mirrors, just real authentic content. And, just kind of transitioned in this on accident. And
do things happen by accident, or do we make things happen?
Yeah, I think when I say by accident, I've always, anything for me in my life at least, hasn't been the path that, like, for example, I got a real estate to open up a health club, right? And then I fell in love with real estate. And then I'm pushing real estate and hitting success. And then all of a sudden I get asked to coach and consult. I never thought I'd be consulting. And now, we have a software company. And, these things that maybe it wasn't the game plan initially, but you push hard and things happen, man. Isn't
it fun how, you close a window and a new door opens all the time? I started out business. I went to business school. I went to law school. I'm a recovering attorney. Okay. I did corporate America. I sold hot dogs in the South Bronx for Swift Premium in New York City. All this. And then I got real estate fever. Do you remember when you got real estate fever, Josh?
Yeah. I jumped in at 23 years old in 2005 and, right away. And I don't know if it was ever working with the buyers and sellers, but it was more of it's the first industry where you're just like, holy crap. Well, you realize the opportunities that exist are just massive.
I loved real estate. I had real estate fever. Real estate fever is basically whenever your friends or family see you, they run away or hide or look like they're busy because, they're going to go, oh shit, Claude's going to talk about real estate some more. Can I use that? Can I use the?
It's done. You can do whatever you want, man. Let's kind of start there, man.
Yeah.
So, you went to law school.
Yeah.
When you got to law school, did you go the attorney route for a while? Did you jump into the corporate world before you transitioned to entrepreneurship? Like, what was that journey like?
I went in the corporate world, got into real estate, and just started my first little deal. I was just talking about it in Las Vegas at a little club I was at. Had a great time. And my first deal was a bank-owned property. It was for $25,000. I lease purchased it. I've written a couple books on lease purchasing. And I had one tenant stayed in there for 14 years. He literally paid off my mortgage and then didn't exercise his option, which he renewed every year. And then he moved to the property downstairs. I got the property back, which I didn't have a problem with. Long story short, I then decided to go to California, loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly. And I sold the property so my wife and I would have some cash. And I got $180,000 for that original $25,000 investment. Did I have the fever?
Yeah.
So I'm in law school, very hardworking. I'm doing the intern stuff and all that stuff. And lawyers don't make a lot of money in a lot of cases, by the way. And the real estate fever returned. And I said, I gotta get back into it. I just loved real estate, and I didn't have a passion for law. And, it was just sometimes these things just happen, after spending 4.5 years studying and all that money and everything. I had a great mentor, by the way. That's the one thing I want to share. His name was Max. And if it wasn't for him, I'd be cleaning a Slurpee machine or flipping burgers somewhere. Okay, and if there's one takeaway, I love takeaways from this conversation today. I want everybody to find somebody, and I don't mean a phony baloney bullshit guru who runs to the back of a room and says, give me $40,000, $50,000. I mean a real person like you, Josh, somebody who is real, who is honest, who is accountable and successful in his own right. Find these people and have that one-on-one relationship. Man, you shorten the learning curve. And it was the one smart thing I did in my life, other than marry my beautiful high school girlfriend. She's listening, so I'm covered. 30th wedding anniversary coming up, right?
Wow, congratulations.
Say right, dear.
Guys, that's awesome.
She's not listening. You'll catch it on the reruns. But the thing is, That's the guy that find that one person who's doing it and shows. I saw this one guy at Max, and on the phone, he would make more. He would close people in one phone call. I was the world's shittiest sales guy. And here's a guy on the phone closing people, making more money on a real estate deal in one phone call than I made selling hot dogs for Swift Premium in the South Bronx. And I said, I gotta learn from this guy. So basically, I was a serf, and I worked for this guy. Here I am with all this education, and here I am. I'm fetching him coffee and bagels. And you know what? It was one of the smartest things I ever did because I got the $1 million education. So I was willing, Max used to always say, everybody wants success, but few are willing to pay the price. I was willing to pay the price, go there after work, go there on weekends for no pay, just to be around a master, a millionaire, self-made, righteous millionaire. I mean, that to me, if anybody can just find that person, that to me is what you need in this business to succeed. Someone who's really doing it. Not somebody who hands you off to some third world virtual assistant, and you know the rest. I don't want to badmouth too much. I'm known for that, but I just like to tell it like it is.
And that's why we started this podcast. And I think that all of our listener base is there with you because you got all these gurus that have never done it themselves. They've never built it, and you got to be so careful.
They don't care. That's what pisses me. They don't care, Josh. They take these are good people out there. You know them. You work with them. I work with them. These are good people. They work so hard. They save their money. All they want is part of the American dream, and they put their faith in someone who's a pretty good speaker. Okay, and that person won't even talk to them, won't return a phone call, will not be accountable to him. Why does that piss me off so much?
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more, man. It's just I don't know if they're just preying on, because there's such a high turnover ratio in the industry, who knows, but I couldn't agree more. So let's go back to the mentor thing, because that's so important. And, what was that phone call like, or how did you reach up to him to get him, I know you're working for free,
yeah.
But so many people are like, oh, hey, can I pick your brain? I'm like, no, I don't have time for you to pick my brain. Like, how did you reach up to get him to say yes?
I was rejected. I couldn't get past the guardian at the gate, Brunhilde, his secretary. I couldn't get my foot in the door. This guy didn't need me. His time was valuable. Millionaires value time, and they don't tolerate unknowns without referrals or anything like that. Okay, so but who am I, Claude Diamond, with all these degrees, and I sell hot dogs in the South Bronx, and I have a law degree and everything, and can I see you? I want to learn what you're learning. They're not going to give me the time. So I got there. I heard millionaires usually get up very early in the morning. Did you know that, Josh? They're usually the first to get there and the last to leave.
Yep.
Okay, and so I just got there very early in the morning. It was like sun was rising, and I said, Mr. Max, I want to speak to you. And it scared the shit out of him, He didn't know. And he said, "Are you the guy who's been bothering Brunhilde?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to talk to you for 5 minutes." He says, "Well, I think that impressed him." He said, "Go down the street, 7-Eleven, get me a bagel and a cup of coffee. I'll give you 15 minutes." Boom. That was the moment, the pivotal moment. Okay, and that's how I did it. So you got to hustle. Somebody who's really successful is not going to take a call to a stranger. The gurus will do it because they want all that money, and there are legitimate mentors out there like yourself and hopefully yours truly, who do get paid for what their time, knowledge, and energy. And I don't have an issue with that. This guy was so busy; he didn't need an intern. He didn't need me. But it was one of the smartest moves I ever made in terms of business, because I learned from somebody who was already. You want to be a millionaire, hang around with a millionaire. You want to be a loser, hang around with losers. Hang around with bullshit artists. Hang around with guys who are driving used Pintos. Okay, success leaves clues, and I'm not trying to sound materialistic or pretentious. You got some of these gurus out there. They live in neighborhoods that you and I wouldn't drive through.
Yep.
Okay, find out about this guy. Make them accountable. I beg people who want to do business with me, ask me for references, please, because my clients are my best invisible sales force. I don't have, the emperor has no clothes. You ask a guru, anybody else, hey, can I have references? And we got to protect the privacy BS line.
Yeah. So then, you got this great mentor. You're going out there, you become uber successful in the real estate space.
Yeah, we did well.
What happened because I know you transitioned out of it. Like, what happened at that point and made you want to go out there and go a different path? I wanted the freedom. I'm a crappy employee.
I'm a really crummy employee. I don't know why. I resent authority. Even my good bosses were assholes. I just resent the authority. I was never paid enough. I was always worried about money. And then, so I wanted my own business, and real estate was the answer for us. And we came to California, went to law school, and law school, really, not to disparage it, helped me draft. I designed some really fantastic contracts, and I know what questions to ask, and I don't deny anybody. A legal education is a really smart thing to have, or have a legal advisor in your sphere of influence. So you do things the right way and you don't get into trouble and you avoid mistakes. And so I was doing the real estate. My wife and I were working together. We owned all these houses in San Diego, very expensive community. And we were still living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. Honey, how much was the rent? $750? $750 a month. We got all this real estate, beautiful properties all over that I picked up foreclosure, rehab, lease purchase, whatever I could do. And we were getting a nice cash flow, but we're still living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And the thing is, that was the price we were willing to pay for. So my wife didn't have to work anymore. We had a new baby, and I wanted her to stay home. And I was doing that, and then what you said earlier, some new doors, some new adventures started opening up. You don't want to hear about those, do you?
No, I'd love to.
People started asking me, how do you do this real estate? How do you do this lease purchase, this option? How do you do all this stuff? I see you wheeling and dealing in your ads and everything. And I started telling people, and Claudia, my wife, isn't that a sweet name?
Yep.
She's a Jersey girl. She heard me on the phone once, don't you love to talk to people in the beginning, give all that free advice? She heard me on the phone talking to these people, giving all the answers to all their questions. And I got off the phone and she came to me and, really sweet. And she said, schmuck. And I said, what did I do? She said, well, you work so hard for all this information. Why are you giving it away? And I said, well, what else could I do? Who would pay me? And that's that self-doubt and that lack of confidence that a lot of us have. And that was a pivotal moment. That was a revelation, an epiphany. I said, well, who would pay me? And she said, why don't you find out? And the next person was in L.A. and they said, gee, I saw an article you wrote. I wrote a lot of articles in those days in magazines. And they said, we'd like to buy you lunch and pick your brain. I said, well, my wife says I should charge more than a lunch now. And I said, can you pay me $1,000? And they said, gee, Mr. Diamond, we didn't want to pay you. And I said, well, what is it you really want? And they said, well, we want to know, you want your contracts, and we have a lot of questions, and we have problems with tenants and evictions and damage. And I said, if I can save you to a time and avoid all these issues in the future, wouldn't it be worth $1,000 to save $20,000? And then she said, you got a good point there. Okay. That was my first consulting or mentoring fee. And I started mentoring people, and boom, another bit. Crushing it with mentoring, and I started public speaking. And this is pre-internet days, okay? Okay, this Stone Age. You were a baby or not even existing yet, maybe. And the thing about it is this opened up my mentoring business in real estate. I love teaching people one-on-one. I didn't want to do the guru, take your money and hand them off, or just give them a book and tape and say, have a good life, thanks for the $20,000. I wanted to do more, so I developed a business model. This is before internet now. We did it all on the phone. Actually, I used to get on airplanes and fly to people all over the U.S., man. Made a lot of money, but boy, was I tired. And then things started to change. I started to do it on the phone. And then another revelation started happening. Am I talking too much?
No, you're doing awesome.
I found out, a lot of people, and this was my bad, a lot of people, and I was taking money from them, and a lot of people, well-intentioned, intelligent people, families and stuff, were giving me money and still failing. And that's something, and I said, what's going wrong? What's going on here? Where are we missing? I'm teaching them to do the same thing I'm doing. How come they're failing? And I had to reverse engineer it and do an analysis. And it was another epiphany, another revelation. People really sucked at sales. Today they suck at marketing and sales. And so what I started to do, I wrote a book called, can I show the book? I don't want to be a schlocky commercial guy, but here's my book, the Gut Sales Method. Then I wrote another book And if any of your listeners want this, let me just tell them to send me an email, and I'll send it to them for free. How's that for?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Is that cool? How to sell with guts and stuff. And I wrote another book, The Mentor, about Max. How it's a fictional story about a guy who's down on his luck, meets the right mentor, and it's a happy ending. I love happy endings. Guy gets the girl, the car, turns his life around by learning some of the principles of success from Max the Mentor. And so I started teaching people about sales the way I learned it from Max. And it's a pretty simple system about learning to ask questions, qualify, get commitment, and qualify people in the first 3 minutes. There you go. Are you married, by the way, Jeff?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna send this if you were engaged or something. This is great on your honeymoon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're doing all this sales training and marketing, and I saw a post last night on Facebook of some people going on, and it was a sales group, how cold calling is essentially dead, and you can't, it's impossible to become a millionaire by working the phones in 2016. I totally disagree with that. Most of my sales and appointments happen on the phone. What is your take with that?
What does the sign say? Do you give good phone? Okay. I'll tell you right now, there are 3 things we need to succeed. We need strategies, whatever strategy in real estate or life insurance or whatever, used cars. You got to have strategies. I don't care if it's rehab, a wholesale owner, finance, lease, purchase, my favorite. You've got to have the strategies. You've got to have marketing, which is my new big thing, social media and live streaming marketing. We're live right now on Meerkat and Periscope. We have hundreds of people. I don't know. I can't look at the screen, but this thing will be replaying all over the place, and people will discover Joshua Smith and his great show, and me too. So we talk about marketing. Then sales is the third part. Out of the 3, strategies, marketing for leads, or sales, what do you think is the most important, Josh? Can I call you Josh or Joshua?
Yeah, either or is good. I don't know. I would think it's a 3-legged stool. You remove one, it's kind of dumb. But if the marketing or if the strategy doesn't happen, then you don't have the marketing and sales to follow.
The way I see it, if you could learn the strategies, make a few mistakes, read a few books. You don't have to be an expert in strategies. You can kind of learn as you go along, make mistakes. I did it probably that way. Okay. Second thing is marketing. You got a lot of people spending a lot of money on marketing, on yellow letters and virtual assistants and all kinds of expensive systems and stuff. And if you can't convert those leads, even if you get some, okay, can you convert them? Can you monetize them? Or do you get on the phone and go, or you read a script or something like that? It's sales. You can live without the strategies or be minimal on them. You can have you need leads, but can you monetize those leads? Sales, this is a takeaway. Sales is the $1 million skill, and you are doomed to fail if you do not understand the science and art of persuasion and influence, of understanding how to speak from one adult to another, and not acting like a goofy sales guy who's saying me, give me, trust me, like your other gurus out there. You've got to, if you can learn how to speak to people and make them comfortable, and they feel that they trust you or like you and share information, you have that, you're in the kill zone. You're in an adult to adult moment, okay? And this is the key to making as much money as you want. Do you know my definition of success? I said it on Jamie's show. I'll say it here because I believe in it with all my heart and soul.
Yep. Yeah, I heard you say it on there, and I do know your definition, but I'll let you go with it.
It's your show. But yeah. I believe, my wife and I, we live really well. We live in California, Colorado. We travel to Hawaii, Pinehurst, North Carolina. We are debt-free, and I'm not bragging, stroking myself here. We're debt-free. My kids' college is paid for. Our health care is taken care of, and we have really good health care. Our retirement, I could have retired years ago. We have no mortgages or anything. I go to bed at night, and I sleep well because I don't worry about money, and I have had times in my life I worried about money. You can take everything Claude and I worked a lifetime for, really hard for. Take it all away from me and let God leave me healthy, and you get me to a telephone, and in 30 days or less, I will be in the top 1% of wage earners because I can give good phone. I have the confidence. I have the knowledge. I don't care if I'm selling widgets, used cars, whatever. I will crush it. I will be on top in 30 days or less. Strip my butt naked. Bad visual. But get me to a phone. And when you can say this, when you have the knowledge, the health, the confidence, When you get to this is the beautiful place you want to get to, that all entrepreneurs get to. When you're there, man, you're free the rest of your life. Yep. You are free. Look at all great entrepreneurs. What do they all have in common? They've all screwed up. They've all gone bankrupt or lost it for the most part, right? Yep. But they come back. We all know the stories of people, Steve Jobs and all these other guys and girls who have come back. Why do they always come back?
They have the passion, they have the love, they don't quit, they're just persistent. And
all that good stuff that you talk about, right? And the thing is, but they're great salespeople. They're great sales. I always say, when I do my presentations, I show a big picture. You're going to love this. Bernie Madoff. Okay, my hero, ladies and gentlemen. Now, obviously, evil man stole, God, $68 billion over 20 years from people. When they interviewed people after they arrested him, you know what they said about him? They said, gee, why did you give him money and everything? We liked him. He was a great guy. He was a nice guy, and he made us a lot of money. The guy was a master of persuasion and influence. Jordan Belfort. Okay, what was the name of that movie he did?
Wolf on Wall Street.
Yeah, what he used it for evil. People can be influenced. They can be persuaded if you understand the science of how to ask questions and ask them with stroking and nurturing and make people feel so good that they say, you know what, I like Josh. He doesn't have a big office building, doesn't have 50 employees, doesn't wear a suit or anything like that, but there's something about him that resonates with me. I want to buy from him. I want to sell to him. I want to do business with him. And if you don't have this skill in real estate, you are doomed to fail.
Yeah, so, and I couldn't agree more with your comment on, it's not the leads, and I always tell real estate agents, man, leads aren't your problem. They all think it is, but it's their inability to convert them to appointments, like you talked about. So with that, 2016, your average person sold so many thousands times a day. Like what kind of frequency? Like, for example, I have a software company that generates online leads. And we'll have clients that generate 100 leads in a night. But I'm like, that's great, but the power happens then on the phone. You got to get on that phone. You got to get down. That's where appointments are set. So what is your strategy? Like, if an online social media lead comes to you, how quickly are you calling? How frequently are you hitting them up? If they're telling you no, just walk us through what you're doing.
Well, the thing about it is, we got to learn to give good phone. We've gotten away from speak. We don't know how to speak to people. We're texting them, okay, or we're paying somebody else in a lovely third world country to call them up and put them in the sales funnel. That's bullshit. If you're in real estate, you get a lead, you call that person right now, today, this minute, okay, and you use the system. You say, hi, Josh, got your phone number here. I think you contacted my office about, how can I help you today, Josh? What did you want to talk about? Okay, that's a warm call. Warm calls are a piece of cake. So they're easy, but I call them directly. After I speak with, and I'll talk about cold calls too, because I love cold calls. Josh, you could go in the phone book right now. Let me call that person. If I get them on the phone, I will engage them in a dialogue in 15 seconds. Without the rejection, without the I'll think about it, I'll talk to my spouse, I'm going to light a candle in church and talk to my pet rock. I can avoid all that stuff with the gut sales method. Yep. Okay? But when I get somebody on the phone, I basically, I ask them questions. I put them into the system agenda where we say basically up front, can I ask you questions, Josh? You ask me questions. Let's see if we're a good fit, man. And listen, if this isn't right for you, I'm here for you. Just say, tell me it's over, man. Tell me we're not going to do business. I'll send you some free stuff and I'll leave you alone. I just want to see if there's a way where you and I can connect and do something positive today. Get rid of the BS and just talk to us. How do you want to be spoken to? We need to reverse engineer this and say and be empathetic and say, when I buy something, how do I want to be treated? Okay, I want to be treated. I go to a restaurant, I go to an Uber car. I was just in Vegas, and the guy was there waiting for me for 1/3 the price of a taxi cab. And said, "Hello, Mr. Diamond, and let me take your bag." And the guy drove me straight. I love this guy. I'm crazy about Uber now because of this good experiences I had. Why don't we give people good experiences and give them what we want? That's the agenda step. Then the qualification step is to find out the time frame, find out the need, and give them a Claude barometer score, and then basically find out how they make decisions, and can they make a decision today? Because if they can't make it today, it's over. I fire the prospect. I invented that phrase. You're allowed to fire the prospect. You're allowed to be in control. And the problem with most people is they're subservient to the prospect. They're nervous. They don't know what to say. They're not authoritative, and basically The prospect senses this, or they sound exactly like the other 19 guys who called him, and the prospect just beats the crap out of you. You know the 11th commandment, Josh? Moses came down the mountain, one of them fell off, okay? It said you can still get into heaven by treating a salesman like shit.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the 11th. So don't act like the typical salesman. Become Dr. Smith. You go to your doctor, Josh, what does he say when you walk in the door?
Nothing really.
He doesn't say hello?
Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, they're just asking how we're feeling. I mean, he's
Yeah.
there to serve me, I guess.
He serves you. He says, Josh, how are you, buddy? Where does it hurt? Why are you in here? And you say, doctor, my back, my neck, this is bothering me. You know, I got this new growth on my, forget that. But do you mind that doctor asking you those questions?
No, not at all.
No. Does the doctor say, hey, Josh, good to see you. Did you see our coupon or our TV ads? And we're having a special on surgery this week. And hop on the table here, buddy. The price goes up on Friday, so you must act now. Does he do that?
Nah, yeah, you're right, man. He's asking engaging questions to help solve my problems, whatever problem I'm there for.
Why don't we all sound like Dr. Josh? And just be upfront and ask questions with stroking and nurturing and empathy, the powers of persuasion. And ask the right questions and get a commitment or get out. And that doesn't mean we can't do business in the future. I save all the information with people. I follow up with everybody. I send them a video email. I use a system called iJot, EYEJOT. I send them a video email. I usually attach a free book or something they can use. I even give them a link for a free, like you use a time trade or a scheduling system. Okay, so that they can call me for a free consultation. I send those out all the time. People come back to me. I make offers every day, letters of intent, one-page offers to people. If you're not speaking to at least 5 people per day, you're not this is a hobby and it is not a business for you. You have got to learn a sales system where you're comfortable, you're having fun, which is a word. I have fun in sales, man. I love talking to people. You know,
I love it, man. I mean, anybody watching this can see your passion, your energy for it. What happens, because I get asked this question a lot, of those that maybe don't have that natural energy and passion, and I don't know if yours is natural or if it was just learned over the years, but you know, a lot of people have, why aren't they picking up the phone? Call reluctance, fear of rejection. I get asked that all the time, like, how do I overcome that? You know, what if I'm your client, what would you advise me there on?
Well, what I do with my clients, and I'm the former world's worst sales guy. I was a horrible sales guy. I would do anything to avoid sales. Why? Because the reasons you just said. Rejection. Who wants rejection? Did you ever have a girl reject you? You asked her out on a date or something, and she said no, and did that little giggle as you walked away. Nobody likes to be rejected. Nobody likes to be manipulated. When the prospect says, "I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. Stay up all night and write up some contracts, and then call me in a couple weeks, or come to my house and drive through 2 hours of traffic." Who wants to be treated like that? And this is the stuff that, God bless you, because nobody talks about this stuff. Thank you for bringing it up. We need to make people, give them a system and practice with them. You know how you get good at something? You learn it. That's what I did. I'm a shy little chicken. I mean, I changed. A leopard can change his spots. People don't believe me. But my wife will come up. She knew me when I was 17, 18 years old. You know, I was a scared little bunny rabbit, you know. And
very quiet.
Very quiet. You know, I was quiet then. The good old days, right?
And I like that you talk about the practice and the role play. You know, it's like if you look at an NFL team, I mean, they spend 60 hours a week practicing and watching their tapes and on the field practicing to go step on the field for 3 hours. And it's like in the professional world, we just quit practicing. We just show up to play and we lose that element.
What's your favorite sport?
Well, you know, I don't really have time to watch a lot of sports, but I definitely like mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts. Oh, so does Jamie.
Yeah.
Mixed martial arts. What happens when you're in a match, but you haven't worked out, you haven't practiced, you haven't shown up to the dojang or whatever you call it?
Yeah.
Okay, you haven't been there in 6 months. What happens to your skill sets?
It's gone. You're gonna get beat.
Sales is we take sales for granted. We've lost our skills. We've lost the survival instinct. Sales, you can't take sales for granted. It's not instinctual. It's something you learn and you practice. I do this with my clients. We do face-to-face on Skype where we just role play or make live phone calls. I put my live phone calls on YouTube. Okay, I just did one with a guy who called me up for a real estate deal, and I took control, and it's all on my YouTube page on there. I have about 385 videos of live phone calls, all free. All free, and that goes to my marketing if we have time to talk about it. But in terms of converting, how do you turn, pardon my language, chicken shit in the chicken salad? How do you turn cold calls into warm calls? Say hello. Phone call.
Yep. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yep.
Yeah. Your name, sir?
Joshua.
Joshua. I'm Claude Diamond. I apologize. I got your number in front of me here. Why am I calling? It's not about real estate, is it?
Are you whatever?
Yeah, well, you called me.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Attack me. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I have no idea who you are and why you're calling me.
Neither do I. My wife says that every morning.
Yep.
But the thing about it is, Joshua, I have a phone number here, and it's been driving me crazy. You ever have a number on your desk? And I have your number here. You didn't have a property for sale or rent before I go, did you?
No, I did not.
Oh, you did not. You weren't even interested in selling your home. Maybe you don't even own a home, right?
Yeah, well, we do own a home, and I don't know if now's the time to sell, but we do own a home.
Are you comfortable in there? You happy?
Yeah.
Stay in the home. I'm so sorry to bother you and everything like that. Listen, I apologize. Somehow I got your number in front of me here. Maybe you advertised or tried to sell it one time. What's your email? Let me send you a free book. I want to return the favor because I bothered you.
Yeah, Joshua at gsdmode.com.
Got it. You're going to get a free book from me and a video email with my apologies. And if you ever do want to sell your home or have some questions about investing in real estate or doing something, give me the privilege of speaking to you again. Okay? Hey, wrong number, but I made a friend. Thank you, Joshua.
Yeah.
Boom. This is just the gut system. I did a lot of moves, and I talk very fast for the time constraints here. You can take a phone number out of the Yellow Pages and give it to me. I'll engage somebody. I'll say, why am I calling you? Is this your number? Boom. I will reverse the whole thing. Whereas most people who call up a cold call in real estate, they sound like they're reading a script. They sound exactly like the other 19 people who called. You can't expect different results by doing the same thing everybody else is doing.
Yep.
You've got to be creative and inventive. Even leaving voicemails, Joshua. You've got to leave when you leave a voicemail, you've got to make it so the curiosity appears. Okay? Yep. And so they say, who is this Claude Diamond guy? Do you know what this is about? And they call me back. If they call me back, I win. Yep. Sales is all about understanding the emotion of the EQ. And if they can, listen, I cry at dog movies, Joshua. Okay? If you can make me emotional, Claudia, I tell this story all the time. It happened last year. Claudia and I are driving out of Costco here in San Diego. She's driving. I see a guy with 3 kids on the sidewalk, and the sign says, "Lost my job. My kids are hungry." Man. I said, honey, pull over. Give him money. Give him money. Feed those kids. I don't care. Was that emotional or an intelligence or intellectual reaction?
Yeah, it's all emotional.
Can you imagine if you could do that in your business, where you make people say, yeah, what do I sign? What do I have to do? Help me buy a home. Help me sell a home. How do you make it emotional through the questions, through the conversation and dialogue you have, so people throw contracts at you, throw money at you all day long? You practice this, you master this, and the magic always happens. Every day I make money in my business, and all I do is talk to at least 5 people a day. That's a takeaway. Everybody on this who's watching this, speak to 5 people a day and ask them questions, and don't be a goofy used car salesman. Be the doctor, be the professional, and watch that magic happen. You will double and triple your business literally overnight.
So let's say real estate, for example, because it's not like an iPhone where they're buying every year when the new model comes out. Like in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm at, there's 1 million rooftops and about 5,000 home sales a month. So you had that conversation, you got their email for that nurture. What does that look like? I mean, what's too much? What's too little? What does that nurture look like? So when they are ready, hopefully they're raising their hand at you. You
have to be a thespian. You have to make them comfortable. You have to create an environment where when they get off the phone, the question I ask myself is, what did Josh say about Claude? Did he like this interview? Did the guy has too much energy? Did he talk too fast, too much? It's real important to me to give to create the best environment so that when you get off this phone or off this call, you say, you know what? That Claude crushed it today. That was one of the best freaking interviews we ever did. I love the information. The guy wasn't schlocky. He gave, to me, perception is reality. I've got to create something where that person, when they get off the phone, say, hey, you know, he's sending me a contract. I'm going to look it over. I'm going to call him back at 10:30 tomorrow because I always preset my appointments or I close. I really go for the close or a commitment in the first phone call, whether I'm doing sales training or consulting or a real estate deal, or I consult now with people on marketing too, by the way. Do you know we're in the Stone Age with marketing and real estate? We got these guys. These guys are still teaching this Fred Flintstone BS, yellow letters and stuff. Nothing wrong with that. People always think I hate yellow letters and mailers and virtual assistants and things. But why is, let me ask you, Josh, you're in the business. Why are we in the freaking Stone Age and nobody, except maybe guys like you and me, are talking about social media and live streaming? What gives, man?
Yeah, I think that people have that tough time with change, and we're an industry that is acceptance of being a dinosaur industry. You know, it's just what exists, man. I don't, I get asked like this question almost daily in the podcast. Because I used to do a lot of direct mail, 50,000 direct mail pieces a month.
Expensive, right?
Yeah, and I get people like, hey, Josh, what would you put on a direct mail message today? I'm like, well, let me ask you this. Like, what's the last direct mail piece you got in your mailbox? I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm like, why is our consumer any different? The message doesn't change, but where a consumer's eyeballs are, is always changing.
My wife sent a Valentine's Day card to our son, okay? He's 25 years old. He's a manager for Safeway Corporate, great kid. She called him up on Valentine's Day or the next day and said, how did you like the card? And there was a little gift card in there. We always said, he said, I haven't gone to the post office yet, Mom. I'll probably go in a couple days. Millennials don't go to the post office. Big revelation. And guess who is the new big market in real estate today?
Yeah, millennials. Well, I mean, they're 2.4 billion millennials.
Yeah, they're going to be buying real estate eventually. They're sick of living in mom and dad's attic eating Twinkies. They're sick of living in a one-bedroom apartment making their landlord rich. They want to be, the American dream has always been, I disagree with Grant Cardone on this. He says you should not get your own first home. You should invest in a business and stuff like that. I say no. You do both. You get yourself into a home because 5 years from now, when you pay down that mortgage or do double payments or whatever you do, or you get the tax benefits, and that's your own place, and there's something cool about your own place. Okay, that place, I told you the story about my $25,000 condo that went to $180,000, okay, in 14 years. Where would a schmo like me make that kind of money in 14 years?
Yeah.
Okay? That was, you got to get in your own home and get into there. But we've got to start teaching people about using this social media. I get the best quality leads for TNT, time and talent, zero cost. I just went to Vegas. I had two great guys, Ray and Daniel. They invited me to Vegas. You know how we hooked up? Periscope.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got a new corporate account, a big 5-figure corporate account. They found me for sales training and marketing. They found me on Periscope. They went from Periscope to Facebook. They went from Facebook to YouTube. Then they finally, number 4 or 5, went to my webpage. And the trust was there from all the content that I put out there that they finally gave me their email and scheduled with me a half hour. Do you think anybody is going to go directly to your webpage and give their contact information anymore without you earning that trust?
No, they're going to do their due diligence. Absolutely.
I don't care who it is. Claudia's mother, 89 years old, is on Facebook every day and Googling and stuff. Everybody is on these we've become the walking dead. We're looking at these little devices. We're going to get virtual reality soon where we're not going to hold the phone. I did a group call today. There's a new device coming out where you're going to wear a bracelet and your phone is going to be projected on your arm. You're going to be making calls, watching movies on your arm is going to be the screen. Everything is around this new technology, and we're still talking about. And there's idiots out there. They're spending $160 billion a year on magazine ads and newspaper and radio and TV. People, what do you do when you see a commercial on TV? Regular TV.
I don't watch it, man.
You don't even watch TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, young people don't watch TV. They don't even have cable service. They just want Wi-Fi so they can watch Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime.
Yep.
It's
That's
all
it.
cheap. And why aren't we marketing with content, doing pictures in Instagram, doing videos in YouTube, and in Facebook Live, and in Meerkat, and in Blab, and in Periscope? Why aren't we going onto Snapchat? Listen, you might say it's for the little ones. Snapchat is going to be a reality before the end of this year for everybody, because take a look, CNN, Wall Street Journal, they're all starting to pay attention to Snapchat. If you are not putting out content into the internet today for your real estate business, with articles, podcasts, videos, audio, whatever you're doing, put out good, compelling content, you're doomed to fail. And I'm not a demotivational speaker, but nobody's talking about this stuff. They're telling them to use the post office with a 1% ROI, truth be told.
Yeah. Or go pay Zillow $300 a lead. Right? So with your social media strategy, I mean, do you have a certain, because you got like the Gary Vaynerchuks that are like, give, ask. I mean,
yeah.
Is it one of those things where you just, do you have a something like that you follow, or is it just give that compelling information, because I know that will eventually drive to my website where then I can ask from there?
Yeah, well, don't tell anybody this. If you give people, when reverse engineer it, when you want to search about the history of that water bottle you're drinking right now, you want to find a better water bottle. Do you want to read a lot of commercial stuff? Oh, it was invented by 10,000 little elves in Afghanistan. Or do you want to read about why the virtue of the water bottle, why it's safer, it's environmentally friendly? You want to find the emotional trigger that resonates with you, the information you're looking for, not the price goes up on Friday, used car stuff. So if you can put out content relating to real estate, because that's the show, okay, can you put out the 5 mistakes people make in Phoenix buying homes? 3 things you need to ask your broker before you sign the contract. 10 things you should know about using the right contract. What neighbor should you think about what kind of schools, neighborhood and schools should you ask about before you move? Put out these articles and blogs. In videos, put pictures out of different areas, the best restaurants in the neighborhood you want to, if you're young, where you want to live, and put out pictures in Instagram and Pinterest. Do Snapchats and tell a little story about different neighborhoods or sections in Phoenix. You live in Phoenix, right? I think.
Correct,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
So you put out this content, or if they're for investors, you're trying to attack investors. Talk about the 5 mistakes I made with lease purchasing. The 3 things you should never do. 5 things how I made $10,000 in one weekend in Las Vegas, not gambling. You put out interesting. You know Amanda Oleander. She's on Periscope. She has 600,000 followers. Young woman. She paints. Okay, starving artist. Today her paintings sell for $35,000 and up, because she put out this wonderful content about her passion for painting, how she paints, what she does. Now she's living in LA selling her paintings for 5 figures and up.
Wow.
She's only 24, 25 years old. There's so many stories out there like that where you don't have to add, if you go to a webpage and there's, what do you call them, those things that come across the screen? What do you call those?
It's like the lead boxes.
Yeah, the boxes, the slide across, or the things that pop up. What do? Same thing like commercials on regular TV if you want. You click, you go to another web page, you go back to Google. How do we earn their loyalty, their trust? How do we make them a fanatical fan by the wonderful, compelling, entertaining, contemporary content that we give these people? Okay? And they will follow us. They say, "Gee, what is Josh going to say next?" I love your videos. Honestly, I just discovered you because you asked me to speak, so I did my homework on you, and I started watching your videos. And then I watched another one, and then another one, and then I registered and everything. And that's the way it works today. True or false?
Yeah, true.
And so you can do mailers to people, but that's what your competition is doing. Do something fresh, original. Give people value. And watch the magic happen. They will come into your universe. They will respect you. They will buy from you. They want to do business with you. You have to earn it, though.
Yep. Love it, man. So, do you do any type of with Facebook? I mean, is all your strategies free strategies, or do you any type of, because the Facebook targeting is insane. I mean, you can, from income to age range to their behaviors. Are you doing some targeted Facebook ads as well?
I do Facebook boosts when I have something special. Like I just did Las Vegas, and I wanted to. These were nice young guys. I wanted to get them a better audience, so I did a little Facebook targeted boost here in San Diego and Vegas to get a lot of people signing up. When I come out with a new book or something like that, or I want to promote I'm a mentor. I mentor people one-on-one in sales, in social media marketing, in creative real estate. When I want to promote my business a little, a Facebook boost, big deal. It's $20 a day, and I can hit 10,000 people of the age group that I'm targeting. That's smart marketing, okay? And big deal, $20. Better than licking envelopes or having all the money I'm spending go to a nice young girl in Guam who speaks broken English, and she's going to talk to my customers. Tell me this isn't insane, Joshua. Tell me this isn't crazy. If we're in business, listen, we're not a multi-million-dollar business. Most of us, it's mom and dad, it's Josh and Claude sitting on the kitchen table with the iPhone, with the laptop or the iPad, making phone calls to Craigslist or Zillow. Okay? And you're going to and people delegate it and obfuscate everything because they're scared to give good phone. And you've got to pay attention to sales so you become you can have so much fun in sales. And people are people, okay? I think Obama said it today in Cuba, by the way, when he was there. He said people are people. Cuban people aren't bad people. They just have a different kind of government, and we got to learn to understand them, and they understand us, and they'll come over to our side eventually anyway. But because we're right. No, no politics. But here's the thing about it is, we just need to communicate to people, attract them. We are the light bulb, they are the moths. Let's bring them into the light with our great content, with our accountability. I say, you know what I say? My 300 and something videos, I say at the end of every one of them, call me. I answer my own phone. Okay, and I do answer my phone. I don't answer every call, but I return every call. I send a lot of free stuff out there. You can't just say, gimme, trust me anymore. It doesn't work. That's 1970s selling. This is 2016, and you better be Jetson, not a Flintstone.
Yep, couldn't agree. And like you said, I mean, you got to have a positive impact on their lives somehow before they're going to think about doing any type of business with you. So, I've heard you talk on other podcasts about, you've created all this massive success in many different businesses.
Thank you.
But I know you've also had points where you created success, lost it, and had to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And those moments, like I've yet to meet anybody that's super successful, that's self-made, that hasn't had those low moments. So what are some of those low moments, which then turn into our best learning experiences and really define us as human beings, entrepreneurs? What were some of those?
I love that question. I love that question because, I remember, oh my gosh, it had to be 18, 19, 20 years ago. We hit a lull. I mean, and Claudia and I had a major financial commitment. And I just had a dead 2-3 month period. The money just wasn't coming in. And it's like living with women. Worry about money different from men. Men, we can live on a rock with a box of mac and cheese and we don't care. Women don't sleep well at night. They worry about money differently from men. I'm not a chauvinist, believe me. And we were starting to get worried. This financial commitment was coming up, and it would have been devastating to us. And I just got pissed off. I had this thing. I just got pissed off at myself. I said, stop acting like a loser. Just get your ass in gear. And I got on the damn phone, and I just worked harder. I didn't get off that phone. I kept working and working and working. And a couple days later, I got the biggest sale in the history of my company at that time. It gave us enough money to pay all the bills and all the things up, gave us the money for the commitment. And I went to my wife. I remember when I told her, and she was almost crying. She was so happy. And I said, honey, yesterday I was a loser, and today I'm a winner. What the hell happened, And I think a lot about this. I got focused. I focused on the focus. I got rid of the distractions, the deviations, and I just did what I do best. It's talking to people and trying to solve their problems.
Yep. Love it. So, I find that good becomes the worst enemy to greatness. It's so easy to get caught up in this, it's good enough, and get comfortable and coast. I mean, you said it before, you're a guy that easily could just be done and go out there and live a great rest of your life. What keeps you from not settling? What keeps you leveling up and never coasting and, always striving for that greatness?
You know what? I could have retired a long time ago. the thing is, and this is, I'm not a workaholic or anything, but man, I love what I do. I get up every morning. I love what I do. I can get up, I exercise, I run, I go swimming, I get on my desk, I talk to the best people. I have clients in, I think, 16 different countries now. I have appointments. I talk to the greatest people in the world. They are just delightful to me. They help put food on my table. I'm so grateful to these people, and they are so nice to me. Okay? And it can't take, we need to respect our prospects more. That would be another show. I don't think people today, especially a lot of gurus, do not respect their prospects. And I think that's part of the marketing and part of gut sales is saying, I want to help this person and I'm entitled to be compensated. Okay, I do believe the salesman comes first and we need to be compensated, but I need to give them value on this. So the thing about it is I have fun. I'm the only sales trainer that I am aware of that says the word fun in sales. Most people, sales is like public speaking, man. It is horrible. I told my wife, I'll never retire until my last day on earth. I love what I do. It's just so much fun, and it's the challenge. So making a sale, Josh, getting a commission by the sweat of your own brow. Tell me that isn't the second best feeling in the world. You're young. I might have to explain the first one to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right, man. I mean, it's a massive rush.
It is such a rush. I love the rush. I love the sale. I love when people say yes. Okay, and it's just so much fun to give them the value. And I have so many success stories out there. I'm the only guy in the world who says, yeah, ask me for my references, but give me a commitment on your side also. I'll give you the references, and if they meet with your personal satisfaction, what happens when we speak at 4:30 tomorrow? Okay, you name me anybody who says, call me, I answer my own phone, and I'll be glad to give you references because my clients are my friends, a lot of them, and they vouch for my veracity. Tell me that isn't the, I am the luckiest guy in the world. I am doing exactly what I should be doing, and I make a phenomenal living at it. Okay, the thing is, when you've been broke in your life, man, it's so good to have money in the bank. Okay, it is. I don't need a Lamborghini or any of that stuff, but I just like that we have a cushion. My kids are taken care of. My wife is taken care of. If I'm hit by a meteor yesterday, it's okay. Everybody's taken care of because I gave good phone.
Yep. Love it, man. Yeah, following your passion's huge, and then if you don't love it, don't get into it, and because it is difficult, but when you're passionate, man, it keeps you going there. So, you're an author, right? You're obviously somebody that I can tell that takes their own personal self-development to the next level, right? So, what have been outside of your own books? What have been some of the books that you might recommend that have had a massive, powerful impact on your life for entrepreneurs?
The Psychology of Persuasion by Cialdini, who's the professor of psychology from University of Phoenix, I believe, right? Or somewhere around there. Do you know who I'm talking about, right?
Huh.
It's Cialdini. Very great book about psychology of the buyer, of the seller, of sales, of persuasion, of influence. You have to understand how people think and feel. I get up every morning, I say, why should someone buy from me today? I am a secret. How do I convince somebody to work with me when there's all this competition out there? Why do they work with a Joshua or a Claude? And you have to understand that. So it's a great book. The Games People Play is a phenomenal old pop psychology book. And what's the other one? That his student wrote, I'm Okay, You're Okay. I love those psychology books on there. I love Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Success, is probably, and Brian's a neighbor of ours, and he's in Del Mar, and The Psychology of Success is the most motivational thing I've ever heard. And who's the name of that one powerful speaker? He says, you gotta be hungry. I forgot his name. I'm embarrassed now. He's a wonderful African-American. He's probably one of the greatest speakers in the world. And
Eric Thomas or Les Brown? Or?
Les Brown, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That would have been embarrassed if Les Brown gives me goosebumps. Listen to Les Brown on YouTube. Okay? Listen to Brian Tracy. Great stuff. Great. There's so much good stuff out there. But motivation by itself is not enough. Yes, we need to motivate ourselves. And the thing that motivates me the most is when I go to the bank. Because that says maybe somebody believed in me. Somebody was willing to, who worked hard for their money, was willing to share it with me because I gave them something of value. And I need that. That's my motivation. But you need the skill sets, you need the leads, you need a marketing system that doesn't make you broke, and you need superb sales skills. That's a takeaway from this conversation today. I don't know if it's a conversation. I almost lectured here. But
I love it, man. So, I got a few last questions for you. But before we jump into those, where's the best place to, if we want to reach out to you, if our listeners want to reach out to you, if they're interested in learning more about your training, obviously getting your books. I mean, what's the best place, Claude, to look you up and
you know what? I'm not going to give all these phone numbers and web pages and everything. Folks, just go to Google and type in Claude Diamond. There's only one other Claude Diamond in the U.S., and he's a phenomenal country western singer in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Winter Park, Colorado. I'm in Maui, Hawaii, or San Diego, California. Just type in Claude Diamond, and you'll find me. I'm all over the place. I'm in YouTube with 380-something videos. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Instagram. You'll find me. And if you find me, send me an email. Okay, you can find my email. It's mentor@mac anyway. I'll send you a free book. I'll give you a free consultation, whatever you want.
Yep, love it. So, I know that you talked earlier about, hey, if I lose it all today, I know that I can go back there and gain it back. So let's say that happens. Your health's good, family's good, but you lose it all, and you only have a few $100 left to your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. What would you immediately go out there and do to go out there and create this empire, rebuild this empire?
That's a great. I love that question. I'm going to try and answer succinctly. I had a guy a couple of weeks ago call me. He said, "Claude, I'm down on my luck. I need help. I have no money to pay you or anything. Can you help me?" I said, "Hey, man, look, I'll give you 25 copies of my book, my sales book, and I want you to go downtown to an office building in Phoenix or LA or wherever you live and take that book. I'll send you the PDF. You print out the books. I'll give you freedom on copyright here, and you go print out those books. If you don't have, I'll send you 5 copies, and you go sell these books. I sell them for $100. You sell them for $25. I'll give you the books. You go in an office building, sell them for $25, and you know what? Don't tell me you can't go to people and say, I've got one of the world's greatest sales book here. It's $25. If you don't like it, I'll give you $50 back." Okay? And do you know what happened? He didn't take me up on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to be demotivational or negative here. Everyone wants success, but are people willing to pay the price? Okay? And that price might be getting your pants falling around your ankles in the shopping mall in front of Santa, okay? But if you were starving, if your children were hungry, what are you going to do? Come home every night and say, "Sorry, kids, Daddy couldn't pull the trigger"? Or are you going to man up and go out there and knock on some doors? Like one of my favorite students, Michael Buckles, goes out there every day and knocks on doors. Michael was broke. He was living in a car, and he went out there and he needed a little bit of help, not a lot, because he had so much courage. He knocks on door. Today he's doing deals every month. Okay, that's courage. You got to have courage to, you can't just say, "I want to be a millionaire," man. You got to earn it. You got to work for it. And I'll tell you what, if you do what everybody else is unwilling to do, just knock on doors, talk to people the right way. Anybody can sell a book, a car, an insurance policy, or real estate where we can really crush it in terms of income.
And so, you talk about, okay, you got to put in the work to be a millionaire. And, you get this fad of all these entrepreneurs throw around this word hustle, and they think their 40-hour week is hustling.
Shit, 40 hours, man. I hit that by Tuesday.
I know. So how do you define hustle and how much action, because you're a guy that's created millions and become a multimillionaire and started from scratch. How much hustle does that truly take?
I'm still hustling. I love the hustle. The fun thing is, it's enjoyable. It's stimulating. It's a challenge. It's saying, man, if I talk to people, they're going to give me money. You know how much fun it is to make money by talking to people? And so I'm not a workaholic, but I work on this. I work 8 days a week at this business. And if I want to take a nap, if I want to go take a swim or a run, I want to take my beautiful wife for our anniversary out to dinner, I can do whatever I want. But why do I want to stop doing something that's fun, that makes me a lot of money? You've got to have the passion. You've got to have the skill sets. Working for the sake of working is, man, we've all had bad jobs with bad bosses, and we're watching the clock and it's boring and everything. You got to find your passion. Barbara Sinatar said, do what you love, the money will follow if you're practical. Okay? So if you're in real estate, you said how many deals were being done in Phoenix? 5,000 or something?
Yeah, 5,000 roughly a month right now.
5,000 a month. That's 5,000 people. Can't Josh or Claude get a small percentage of those 5,000 people and make more money in 1 month than some people make in a year, a couple years? What do we have to do to get one of those 5,000 deals? Buying, selling, investing. We've got to hustle. Okay, if you don't love this business, if you don't have passion, if you're just saying I want to do it for the money, the likelihood is you're not gonna have the gravitas. You're not gonna put in the effort that you need. It's got to be you could tell me, Claude, I'll give you $1 million a year if you're a toll collector or a septic tank cleaner. I'm not going to stay there very long.
Yep.
Maybe I'll do it just for a little seed money or get going or something, but it's not something I'm going to do the rest of my life. Work is a joy of life if it's the right work and you're properly compensated.
Yep, love it, man. So, what is? I know you do a ton of these podcasts and you speak and you're interviewed all over the place. What is like the one question that you don't get asked that you wish people would ask that you feel is important?
Is that your real hair? People always ask me, is that your real hair? And it is, really. They ask that. I need that to be asked. Question. That's a good one. How do you stay Claude, how come you're 63 years old and how come you look so young and have so much energy? Go ahead. No one ever asked me that one.
Yeah. So, Claude, all right, man. I mean, you're 63 years old. You're out there grinding. You're still, working 8 days a week. You have all this energy. How do you do it, man? How do you keep it up?
I just, do what you love. Do what you love. Find your passion. Live life reasonably. Okay, and the magic will always happen. You can eat better foods. You can live with less stress. You can devote time to your relationship, to your family. You can do a lot of philanthropy work. I love exercise. I love going out and running and swimming every day. And you know what? You can, even if you don't have the DNA, you can be young at heart to your last day. You want to feel as good as you did your first day on your last day. And that comes from doing things you love and removing some of the stresses in life. And money is stressful. Yeah. And so I'm doing exactly what I should be doing and loving every minute of it. And that's why, as Joe Namath said, I can't wait for tomorrow because I get better looking every day.
Yeah, I love it. So last question for you. You talked about, hey, if you want to be a millionaire, hang out with millionaires. If you want to be a loser, hang out with losers. And set in business, we hear this kind of term all the time of you are the result of 5 people that you spend the most time with. There's so many listeners that reach out of, hey, Josh, I'm there. I'm ready to level up and take it to the next level, surround myself with people at the next level. But if I want to go start hanging out with millionaires, these dudes are busy, right? Like, how do you go make sure that you're reaching up for those friends and surround yourself with those right people?
Hang out. Where do millionaires hang out? They're people just like us. But if you want to be a millionaire, hang around with millionaires. Find out where they are. Make them an offer that's reasonable. Okay? Give them something. Give them a benefit. Solve a problem for them. Okay? And find out where they are. And you need to be in that environment of success and see how do these people do it? What is their secret sauce? Okay? What do they do? Me, I show people. I get on the phone. And anybody can see what I do. Just watch some videos and watch me in a live phone call with Joe McCall or somebody like that. Watch what I do. Emulate, copy, and learn. You've got to be in an environment. If you're taking advice from, everybody has an opinion. Everybody loves to give advice. And we unfortunately take it from people who haven't heard the right to give it. Make sure you hang around with people who have earned that right. Okay, if a guy's in front of a room speaking at a real estate club, and then he goes in the parking lot and he's driving his Kia 1987 Kia or something like that, that might leave you a little clue. If he lives in a crummy neighborhood, is he early? And I'm not trying to sound materialistic, but success and failure leave clues. Find the success, emulate the success, hang around with success, find real people who are real. Okay, and they're out there. We have all this. You know what's so great about today? We have all this information in our fingertips today. It's all here. Just find the righteous people. Find the people who are real, who are transparent, who are authentic, who give us, who are, the BS artists. Okay, I'm not going to pay $5,000 to walk on hot coals and think I'm going to be a millionaire on Monday. Okay, find those people who are doing it honestly, doing it successfully, who are going to be accountable to you. I'll tell you what, the successful people I've met in my life are wonderful, they're happy, and they're giving.
Yep.
Okay, I sit on the board of several charities and things like that. I meet these people, and they write checks because they just want to give back. They are that good. That's the people you want to be on. Volunteer. Be on different go to different organizations and watch who the people are on the board of directors. Hang around with them. Earn their trust, and then maybe you can ask for a favor.
Yeah, I love it. So, I started this podcast. It's going on almost a year. And the reason I want to start, because I think you and I both share that kind of same passion of the gurus, the quote-unquote gurus that are out there selling snake oil, right? So I'm like, man, especially, I shouldn't say just in the real estate space, it's in every space.
Yeah.
But in the real estate space, we see a lot of top coaches that have never actually even sold real estate.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, instead of whining about it, let me go do something about it and go out there and create an environment like this where I go out there and interview the doers, guys like yourself that are, it's not talk, it's like you've been in the trenches, you went out there and built these epic businesses, so then that other people can take this information and go out there and create the same in their world. So any last pieces of advice or inspiration, motivation that you'd like to leave our listeners with, so then that they can go out there and create that amazing life that they know they truly want and deserve, just like you've been able to create?
It's all about sales, ladies and gentlemen. It's about giving good phone. It's about speaking to at least 5 people a day. What you find a product or service, okay, that you're passionate about, study that product or service. If it's real estate, learn some strategies, study some stuff out there, okay? There's plenty, all the information, you don't have to give somebody a lot of money. All that information is on YouTube. It's on the podcasts. Wonderful, great information from people like Joshua Smith, okay? And then do your marketing, but watch your budget, and you can get the greatest leads in the world by putting out content. But the thing that's going to get you to your financial goals, if that's important to you, and I think it is being superb. Not adequate, not even good. You have to be superb in understanding how people feel, how they think, how to ask them the right questions, to make them feel good so that they like you, they trust you, and they want to do business with you. Focus on the power of persuasion and influence. Focus on sales 2016 and believe in your product or service, and the magic will happen for you. You will hit your financial goals, and you will have tons of fun while you're doing it.
Yep, I love it. Such powerful words. And to our listener base, I know you guys, I in every podcast with this, but information without implementation is really just the start of delusion. Information is not power. It's taking that information, applying it into your world, into your life, right? Taking action on that information, that creates power. So you guys just heard from an amazing guy today that's created multi-million-dollar businesses in his world that, is a massive doer, man. Shared so many amazing nuggets. Take something that Claude shared, go out there and implement right now so then that you can create that life that you want and you deserve. And Claude, man, I know how busy you are, and this has been a huge honor, man. I've been really excited for this.
No, the honor was mine. This was fun, man. I'm sorry I was very few words came out tonight. I'm sorry.
No, this is great, man. I love this, man.
No, this is fun. Thank you.
Passion and doing amazing things, man. Like I said,
and thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do, sharing, taking the time out of your life to share information and motivation with everyone else. That's great. Thank you for inviting me.
Yep, you got it, my friend. All right, you guys. Well, we will see you next time. All right. How'd you feel?
I feel great. I feel great. I hope I wasn't too over the top there. What did you folks think? How did you like it? Give me some hearts or something here. How was that? Good. We were simul broadcasting on this thing. I thought that was you're a great interviewer. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I talk too much sometimes. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, we all listen to podcasts and whatever, and you get these hosts that talk a lot and interrupt and talk over, and it's just it's one of those things. When I'm talking, I'm already reciting what I know. When I'm listening to you and you're talking, I'm learning new. So I'd rather prefer having guests like you that just just roll with it. And obviously
Oh,
you're
yeah.
passionate, you know your craft, and it allows me to learn. It's one of these things where, like, this podcast costs me about $140,000 a year to operate.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you know, but we do a lot of in-office podcasts and editors, and you know. So
Well, I can see your equipment. You've got some pretty sharp stuff.
Yeah. Well, I got, you know, I was renting a studio downtown, but the commute was killing me, and you know, I've got 4 businesses, 3 little kids, so time is tight. You know,
Dude, I work from home, man. I love working from home.
Yeah.
What, you know, instead of giving all that money to the studio, you know, I think your office looks cool, man, with the shirts, and there's a picture of Steve in the background and everything like that. Even if the kids come in and walk in the background, I love that. It's so real, you know. It's so authentic. Awesome. I think people are sick of slick, and they just want a guy, and they say, man, I want to do what Josh is doing. You know, he's working from home. His kids come in and interrupt, and what I miss those days. You know, my kids are grown up. I loved when the kids came in and stuff like that.
Yep. No, absolutely, man. So I actually got a question for you, though.
Shoot.
So one of my businesses, I mean, I've got my real estate business, but then my main focus right now for my own personal time is I do a lot of webinars. So I sell real estate specific coaching. It's all group coaching because I wanted to create really the most effective and affordable platform that exists out there. You know, sick of this $1,000 a month, 6-month contract to just dangle the carrot. So I created a product that's $997. It's 40 hours. We go 3 hours.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, I should probably bring him in here. I've got my VP of sales, who's a guy that worked for me, right? He was leaving the real estate business. He came on within 90 days by following these strategies. He went from 0 to doing over $40,000 a month that net after splits.
We're not broadcasting anymore, by the way.
Okay. Awesome.
I just wanted so we could speak freely.